I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I don't know why this concept is so difficult to understand. Instead of reading and studying the woke Bible, maybe professional deceivers should be reading the actual Bible, because the Bible has been trying to tell you for thousands of years the truth shall always come to the light. Ironically enough, Angel Reese unintentionally exposed her own lie. She exposed a lie that the WNBA has been pretending to believe for the last 12 or so months. If you've got secrets, I damn sure would not share them with Angel Reese. Not only does she struggle with layups, not only does she struggle to sell tickets, she also struggles to abide by the code of omerta, a code that allowed the mafia to remain prosperous for decades. Angel Reese struggles to exercise her right to remain silent, which is a common characteristic in people who are living a lie. To make matters worse, I think Angel Reese is also coming to the harsh realization that her gimmick as the ultimate victim has expired. 20 years ago, Vince McMahon and the WWE, they created a character named Muhammad Hassan. The gimmick was played by a dude named Mark Capani, an Italian-American from upstate New York. I think he was from Syracuse. Now, the character, it was based on the foundation of stereotypes that were associated with Muslim Americans at the time. This was 3 or so years after 9/11, a time when American culture was questioning anyone of Middle Eastern descent. The Muhammad Hassan character, he was playing the role in the way of the ultimate victim. He was complaining about prejudice, racism, unfair searches at the airport, nasty looks from passengers on airplanes, typical stuff for that time period. Naturally, the character of Muhammad Hassan generated immediate nuclear heat. He received a major push and basically became a main event level talent overnight. Muhammad Hassan debuted in December of 2004. 7, maybe 8 months later, he was off of television. After the London bombing in the summer of 2005, the WWE was criticized for pushing Muhammad Hassan. They received pressure from sponsors, pressure from the networks, and just like that, the wrestling career of Mark Capani was over before it started. One day he's on top of the world, the next day he's forgotten. That is how fast a gimmick can expire. One day you're untouchable, the next day you're just unwanted. Since entering the dump of dumps known as the WNBA, Angel Reese has received relentless promotion from the league and her pretend friends in the mainstream media. Since she couldn't sell tickets and generate interest on the court, Angel Reese decided to play the villain. When that didn't work, mainly because she's not on the same level as Caitlin Clark on the court, Angel Reese made the transition to the ultimate victim. You don't have to take my word for it. Take a look at these clips from the last 12, 18 months. Watch for yourself.
I don't really get to stand up for myself. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. I've been sexualized.
The league's response just coming out right away and getting that investigation going.
Yeah, obviously, like I said, they understand that this is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preach. I think 2 days before they put out no hate, no speech. And obviously, the women in this league, they know that, and know there's no space for that. And I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect.
Angel Reese has complained about being over-sexualized, even though she is responsible for seeking the validation from lonely men. Angel Reese has pretended to be the victim of mythical racism. She has fed into the fantasy that Caitlin Clark fans are racist. First game of the season, Angel Reese refused to dispute the false media narrative that Caitlin Clark fans were taunting her with racial slurs, even though her own head coach publicly admitted he didn't hear a damn thing. But all of a sudden, after 12 months of lies, 12 months of playing the ultimate victim, Angel Reese has finally decided to tell the truth. A truth that the mainstream media is mysteriously choosing to ignore. I wonder why. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Over the last few months, I've had several of you guys reach out to me, letting me know about AI channels stealing my content. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. If you see AI channels ripping my stuff, please shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. The AI channels, they have gotten out of control on YouTube this year. Now, YouTube is trying to crack down on it, but all I can do is get my stuff removed from people who are taking it. People who lack the talent to do this themselves, they'll take videos from me, they'll take videos from Black and White Sports and other channels that are similar, and they'll compile our clips together and claim it as their own. So if you see any channels doing this, or if you just want to email me and say hello, shoot me an email, btlkc84@gmail.com. Tuesday night, the Chicago Bravado, they continued their tradition of getting their ass kicked. I almost felt sorry for them because the Bravado were at a severe disadvantage. They were playing the New York Equality. It was a pretend basketball team against a real basketball team. It was the equivalent of the best team in the dump playing against the best high school boys team in the country. Before the game starts, we already know the end result. The best team in the WNBA would get their ass kicked by a group of elite prepubescent boys. Tuesday night, the Bravado, they lost by, 200 or 300 points. But Angel Reese, she played her best game of the season. She was taking shots and actually making them. One of the unknowns on the Bravado, they would pass her the ball in transition, and not only would Angel Reese catch the miniature ball, she managed to dribble and move at the same time, jumping inches off the ground to make a layup. I had to check the guide on my TV to make sure I was actually watching the WNBA. Angel Reese, she was looking like the second coming of Greg Oden or Kwame Brown. After the game, Angel Reese and a missing person represented the Chicago Bravado at the postgame press conference. We talked about this yesterday, how the lady on the missing persons report tried to defend Angel Reese against vicious attacks from the media. The same media who has protected and shielded Angel Reese from criticism since she tried on her hard hat and entered this dump. Since Angel Reese had an efficient game, and we're likely to never see this level of efficiency again this season, the media, they try to take advantage of the situation by setting Angel Reese up with a question that would give her a chance to clap back at the haters. But instead of clapping back at the haters, Angel Reese decided to rise above it. But in her response, she either intentionally or unintentionally said something that directly contradicts the mythical racism that she has claimed to be a victim of for the last year. Watch for yourself.
For all the scrutiny you do receive online and stuff of that nature, what kind of messages a game like this send to them, as well as just the kind of momentum that this can build for you throughout the season?
Yeah, obviously don't worry about what's going on online. I get so much love in person. I haven't ever had a negative encounter in person ever. And I've been going through this for 3 years. I've never had an encounter in person that was negative.
What? Excuse me? Did I hear that correctly? According to Angel Reese, she's never had a negative encounter in person, ever. She not only said it once, she reiterated the point by repeating it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong here. Wasn't it Angel Reese last season who claimed to be a victim of mythical racism when a fan approached her and Ken Carter as they were getting off the Greyhound? Wasn't it Angel Reese last year who criticized the WNBA for their lack of response to claims of fake racism? Headline at USA Today from September 2024. Angel Reese calls out lack of action against racism WNBA players have faced. Wasn't it Angel Reese just last month pretending to be the victim of created racism, pretending that Caitlin Clark fans were taunting her with racial slurs. And now, here we are a month later, and Angel Reese is claiming it never happened? Where in the hell is the media? Where was the follow-up question in that press conference? This is why the WNBA is extremely selective with who they allow to cover this dump of a league. This should have been a very basic follow-up. The question literally writes itself. Hey, victim, are you saying that Caitlin Clark fans are innocent of charges of mythical racism? Of course, the media would never press Angel Reese for answers because more than likely, they would lose their credentials. You're not allowed to question the queen. You're not allowed to question the ultimate victim. You're not allowed to criticize the WNBA or its players. You're only allowed to speak positively about pretend basketball. Basically, they want you to lie. I don't know if this admission was intentional or if Angel Reese slipped up. I think it was the latter. I think Angel Reese unintentionally exposed her own lies. But I also think Angel Reese is coming to the realization that she's not as big of a deal as she thinks she is. The last few weeks have been an indictment on the drawing power of Angel Reese, or the complete lack thereof, lack of drawing power. Both Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers have been injured. The only star left in the dump was Angel Reese. Well, Casey, that's not true. A'ja Wilson has been playing. She's a huge star. AJ Wilson? The same AJ Wilson who plays for the Las Vegas Anonymous Faces? That AJ? There's a reason they're called the Anonymous Faces. They're anonymous. Angel Reese was the centerpiece of Unrivaled. They couldn't draw flies to a fresh turd. Over the last few weeks, she's been the only star in the WNBA. In that time, overall interest in the WNBA has declined. Ratings have declined. Tickets were selling for as low as $3. All signs pointing to the fact that the gimmick isn't working. Angel Reese is not the star she thinks she is. Give me your thoughts on this. Angel Reese admits to never having a negative interaction with WNBA fans in person. She basically exposes her own lies. Was this intentional, or do you think Angel Reese slipped up? Was this an unintentional truth that slipped through all of the lies? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.